Laker Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Hope all of you are gearing up to have an absolutely phenomenal weekend. A very interesting show that we have cooked up for you today. We're going to take a look at some Rich Paul clients that the Lakers could add to the roster throughout the offseason. Big names, middle tier names, lesser known names, that's all coming your way. Now, of course, this video might trigger some Lakers fans out there who aren't big fans of LeBron James. They don't like the power that Rich Paul has with this Lakers team, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, his clients, as well as the power that they have spread out because their fingertips are on a bunch of teams and players across the NBA. And there are guys on this list that Laker fans don't want, but there are guys on this list who I don't think are seamless fits on this Lakers roster either. We'll get to those names coming up here momentarily, but first, it is trivia time right here on the Lakers Report. I'm going to ask you this trivia question, and I want you to get your best guesses into the comment section, and later on today's show, I will reveal the answer to this trivia question right here. First Laker to win MVP was who? Elgin Baylor, type EB. Magic Johnson type MJ, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar KAJ, or is it Wilt Chamberlain WC? Now, MJ for Magic Johnson, it might be a little bit of a violation, but it's Magic, baby. So if it's MJ, just type MJ. We know it's not Michael Jordan, it's Magic Johnson, another one of the all-time greats. So with these Rich Paul clients who the Lakers could go after, the LeBron James influence is real by now. On the Lakers, as well as on the rest of the league. He basically empowered more so superstars teaming up together, as well as movement going from team to team. And he's won a championship with all three of them, so how can you knock him? Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, and the Los Angeles Lakers. And there's something else that we have to talk about here. LeBron's potential extension does loom in the distance, and the financial flexibility or lack thereof could be determined by if LeBron James does sign that aforementioned contract extension. Right now, if you look at some of these Rich Paul clients, what is the theme and what is the foundation for what we're getting to? You at least have the inside track on some of these guys. So if you don't like Rich Paul, if you don't like LeBron, you don't like Klutch Sports, at the very least, if you do like some of these players, the front office, LeBron, his camp, they have the power to at least put in a little message because tampering in the NBA, as we know, is not real. Who do you want the Lakers to add this offseason? My next question for the homies, give me a name or names in the comment section and let me know before we get to this list of Rich Paul clients. So let's get to these Rich Paul clients, and again, star power and players of all types of tiers. We start off with Collin Sexton, guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and going into last year, a lot of rumors about him potentially getting dealt. I think going into the NBA trade deadline, he may have been traded because of the rise of Darius Garland, but also the injury to Collin Sexton lost him for the rest of the regular season and took him out of the running to be a prime NBA trade candidate. The play of Darius Garland last year, him becoming an all-star in front of the Cleveland crowd, made people forget about Collin Sexton. I was big on him coming out of Alabama. I thought he was a very good prospect at the time, and he certainly developed into a very solid player. 2020, 2021, he was really good. Now, do I think that Darius Garland is better? Do I think that Garland's game more conducive to winning? Yes. But it shouldn't take away from what Sexton is, a very good guard who can be lightning quick in the open floor. In the half court when things get stagnant, he could break you down off the dribble and get to the cup. Each year, he's really gotten better. And obviously, you don't look at the numbers from this past year when he only played 11 games and the numbers were down because he was dealing with that knee injury. 2 years ago, I think that's more so the player that Collin Sexton is going to be a restricted free agent going into this offseason. So, of course, that enters the equation as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because if the Lakers go out there and they sign Collin Sexton, whoever they sign, whoever they draft in the NBA draft, whatever moves happen throughout this offseason, we have you covered. Plus, our coverage 100% free, not behind a paywall. Just hit that red subscribe button down below or plug in that link, youtube.com/LakersTV. The sexiest player on this list in terms of the game, okay, relax. It's Zach LaVine, an uber scorer who can really score from anywhere on the floor and is phenomenal. Now, did have that knee injury this year, but it's going to take a minor procedure to really clear things up. I like Zach LaVine. He's super athletic. He's a hyper scorer who can just be a flat-out hooper. He's really a threat to score the basketball as soon as he crosses half court. Now, he can pull up from three and knock down shots from the three-point line, but he can get to the cup. He can finish around the rim. He can throw down some hammers because his athleticism is certainly elite. Stats in Chicago over the last 5 years. Crazy to think that he's been in Chi-Town, the Windy City, for 5 years now. Very good numbers, 24.5 points per game, nearly 48% from the hardwood, almost 39% from beyond the arc. That, folks, certainly translates. But games missed by season is a little bit of a concern, considering LeBron James hurt a lot now. Anthony Davis has always been hurt. 58 out of 82 games 2017. 18, he had that ACL surgery a long time ago. 19 out of 82 the following year. 5 out of 65, 2019-20. 14 out of 72 2 years ago, and 15 out of 82, but he was playing through that bad knee injury. Lonnie Walker, guard out of the San Antonio Spurs, also a Rich Paul client, and a guy who I think a lot of people are sleeping on. Former first-round pick out of Miami, and with San Antonio, it's been such a Jekyll and Hyde up-and-down career where he's been a little bit spotty, a little bit sporadic, definitely up and down, but this is an under-the-radar player who I think is on the verge of being a breakout candidate in the NBA. Can he do it with the quality team? Is he a winning player? Can the scoring numbers go up dramatically? He certainly has the skill set to do it, but Lonnie Walker is a player who I think a lot of people sleep on, and for me, he is certainly under the radar as a Rich Paul client. Let me ask you this about Rich Paul. Is he still dating Adele? I think so. Adele, by the way, one of the best talents ever in music history. L for you like Rich Paul, D for dislike. Once again, sound off in the comments. Yusuf Nurkic, since coming off that disastrous and ugly leg injury a couple years ago, unfortunately for him, he just hasn't been the same player. Now, when he was in the midst of his prime, very good defensive player, solid offensively, could do a couple of nice things as a pick and roller and a guy around the rim. The injury is certainly the same. Is certainly a shame with what happened to Nurkic. Might not be the same guy. He was having one of his better seasons that year as well, and since then, it's like these injury issues have just continued. Now, the numbers that he put forward this past year with the Portland Trail Blazers, very good. But from an eye test standpoint, just didn't move as quickly. I like his intensity. I like his devoted craft. I like how seriously he takes the game. I actually liked how a fan tried to mock him and put his cell phone in his face, and Nurkic just took it and threw it. That was great. That dude's a dog. Can he continue to be a good player? If he does this with the Lakers as like a fifth option, fourth option, that could be pretty solid as well. Tristan Thompson. Now with the Chicago Bulls, this guy's been a journeyman over the last couple of years, a legendary Rich Paul client going way back into the day. Obviously, he has that long relationship with LeBron James. Tristan Thompson, though, dude, no thanks. Simple as that. And I'm a guy who likes to talk. I talk for a living. I'm a host here at Chat Sports covering the NBA, NFL, and college football. I don't have much to say about Tristan Thompson. I think he's cooked. I think he's washed. Good job dating the Kardashian, but no thanks at the end of the day. The game has passed him by, and I don't think he has much gas left in the tank. Today's show, presented to you by the fine folks at Rumble. You can watch the Lakers Report right here on YouTube. If you like it, that's awesome. If you want to watch us on Rumble, you can do that as well. We have versatility to our game like LeBron James. Warriors today, beating us with Rumble followers, 1,774. Lakers reports, I'm catching up to do, 1,425. Sometimes we put exclusive videos on Rumble. How do you follow us? Plug in that link down below, rumble.com/LakersTV, and look out for that green follow button. Some trade options for Rich Paul clients on top of free agent options. Keldon Johnson, San Antonio Spurs. As we continue to go back to that Spurs well, he actually sneakily, as a former first-round pick, he's only 22 years old. And I think the improvements that I've seen from him over the last couple of years have certainly impressed me a lot. He's continued to grow a little bit. Now, you look at his numbers first 2 years as compared to what he did last year. A huge jump in production. First 2 years in the NBA, 12 points, 5.5 boards, about 9 field goal attempts per night, 49% shooting, 36% from beyond. Last year, though, up to 17 points per game, 6 rebounds, which is an increase, more field goal attempts, and with that, it's not like the field goal percentage fell off, went down from 49 plus to 46.5, and the three-point numbers actually went up. Breakout season last year for Johnson. I'd like him on this roster because a lot of people are sleeping on him, just like they're sleeping on Lonnie Walker, in my opinion. More important for the Lakers during this offseason, an offseason in which we have you covered. That's why you subscribe, but also going to be a lot of stuff going on. Coaching search, free agency. Is it F for free agency, T for trades? What is the bigger point of emphasis for the purple and gold? Let me know again. Terrence Ross. He's been involved in trade discussions for quite some time now. At this point, really is just a bench player. And for Terrence Ross, I think he is a solid bench option for LA because he can score. He can come in a pinch, get hot, give you a couple of buckets, and he could be a decent rotational player. Better depth than what the Lakers have right now. Now, his role declined this year with Orlando's young players. What could his role be with a Lakers team that is more veteran-laden? With the Magic over 6 years, 13 points per game, 41% shooter, 35% from three nearly, and he can be a microwave guy who sometimes gets as cold as the freezer, but a good bench option nonetheless. Cam Reddish. Everybody keeps waiting for Cam Reddish to break out. He did last year in the playoffs with Atlanta. Didn't really get a lot of playing time with the New York Knicks until late in the season because somehow, even though he wasn't on the team much, Coach Tibbs had him in the doghouse seemingly. We're all waiting for Cam Reddish to break out because he has the athleticism to do so. He has decent finishing ability for his size, a nice three-point shot, but he just hasn't been able to get on the floor consistently. And I think he's a better player. There's a better player within him than what we've seen during his career since he was drafted in the first round out of Duke. 10.5 points per game through 3 years up to this point on nearly 9 field goals. Field goal percentage, not good, 39%, and sub 33% from deep. Has to become a better player in terms of his efficiency. And if that happens, I think there's a better player within Cam Reddish. Now, among this list of free agent targets, as well as trade targets, all Rich Paul clients, who did I miss? Let me know in the comment section. And here is the reveal to that trivia question. First Laker to win MVP, who was it? Elgin Baylor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, or Wilt Chamberlain? Here is the answer. It was Kareem all the way back in 1975, 1976. If you got it right in the comments, good job by you. If you're now just typing Kareem in the comments because you want me to think that you got it right, you're cheating, but okay. Thanks for watching today's show. Have a good weekend.